The year was 740 BC. King Uzziah, a powerful ruler of Judah, died. His reign was marked by both prosperity and pride. In the year of the king's passing, the prophet Isaiah had a vision. This was no ordinary dream. It was a window into the very throne room of God. This vision marked a turning point in Isaiah's life. He was about to encounter the Lord in a way he never imagined. The experience would forever change him. It would also shape his ministry. Isaiah found himself in the temple. This sacred space, usually filled with the activity of priests, was different. Isaiah saw the Lord. He was high and exalted, seated on a throne. The train of his robe filled the temple. The imagery is striking. It speaks of God's immense power and glory. The throne represents God's sovereignty. He is the King of Kings. The temple, a place of worship, emphasizes his holiness. The flowing robe speaks of his majesty and presence, overwhelming the earthly space. Isaiah, in that moment, was completely enveloped by the tangible presence of the Almighty. This was not a God of distant stars, but a God who chose to reveal his glory in the heart of his people's worship. Surrounding God's throne were strange and magnificent creatures called Seraphim. They were angels, but unlike any Isaiah could have imagined. Each seraph had 6 wings. 2 wings covered their faces, a display of reverence before the divine. 2 wings covered their feet, symbolizing humility and unworthiness in God's presence. With the other 2 wings they flew. They called out to one another, their voices echoing with awe and power. "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts," they proclaimed. "The whole earth is full of his glory." These were not mere words, they were a declaration of God's absolute holiness, his complete separation from anything sinful or impure. The seraphim, consumed by God's purity, could only respond with this threefold declaration of his nature. Their presence served as a stark contrast to the human world Isaiah knew. Here was a glimpse of unceasing, perfect worship, a standard that humanity in its fallen state could never achieve on its own. Section 4, Holy, Holy, Holy. The Trisagions echo of God's nature. The Seraphim's cry, "Holy, Holy, Holy," is known as the Trisagion. It's not just a repetition for emphasis. It's a threefold declaration of God's complete and utter holiness. Each holy represents a different aspect of God's nature, his absolute purity, his perfect righteousness, and his infinite power. This cry establishes the foundation of the vision. Before God reveals his plans or speaks to Isaiah, he reveals his character. The message is clear. God is holy. This understanding is essential for Isaiah and indeed for all of us to grasp before we can truly comprehend his word or his ways. The repetition of holy reverberates not just through the temple, but through all of Scripture and throughout history. It is a constant reminder of the God we serve, a God who is utterly set apart, perfect in every way. Isaiah's transformation begins with a profound realization of his own unworthiness. Confronted by the holiness of God, Isaiah cries out, "Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips." This moment of self-awareness is crucial. It marks the beginning of his purification and readiness to serve. A seraphim flies to him, holding a live coal taken from the altar with tongs. The seraphim touches Isaiah's lips with the coal and says, "See, this has touched your lips. Your guilt is taken away and your sin atoned for." Through this act, Isaiah is cleansed and prepared for his prophetic mission. Following his purification, Isaiah hears the voice of the Lord asking, "Whom shall I send and who will go for us?" Without hesitation, Isaiah responds, "Here am I, send me." This bold declaration signifies his willingness to accept God's call despite the challenges that lie ahead. Isaiah's readiness to serve underscores the transformative power of encountering God's holiness. He is now equipped with both the spiritual clarity and the divine mandate to speak God's truth to the people. The vision of God's holiness and Isaiah's subsequent transformation have a profound and lasting impact. It shapes his entire ministry, infusing his messages with a deep sense of urgency and divine authority. Isaiah's experience serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of recognizing God's holiness in our own lives. It calls us to a higher standard of purity, righteousness, and dedication to God's will. Isaiah's vision continues to inspire and challenge believers, reminding us that an encounter with the Holy can transform us and propel us into our God-given purpose.